So here to respond to that, former House Oversight Committee Chairman and Fox News contributor Trey Gowdy. Mr. Gowdy, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Your reaction, I guess, first of all, to what Representative Maloney had to say about today.
Well, you know, Sean said their focus is on Russia, and then immediately he went to the stripper and the centerfold. So I just heard him say it. Our focus is on Russia, and then the next words out of his mouth were Stormy Daniel and Karen McDougal. So that, and also he wants to wait on a report, and yet 60 of his colleagues have already voted to move forward with impeachment. They ain't waiting on nothing. Collusion. That's what started this entire investigation. That's the seminal question, and it's the one thing Michael Cohen's actually been consistent on. Yeah. In October of 2017, he said there was no evidence of conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia, and he said it again today. But Democrats don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, so now they want to move to an FEC violation.
All right. So a couple of the big items that came out today was this moment with regard to a conversation that Roger Stone had with President Trump on speakerphone in his office. Let's watch.
He was a presidential candidate who knew that Roger Stone was talking with Julian Assange about a WikiLeaks drop on Democratic National Committee emails.
What did you think of that moment?
Well, you know, there are always three aspects to that. There's the hacking of the server, the hacking of John Podesta's email, and then the dissemination of that information, which is why I asked Michael Cohen that question 2 years ago. Do you have any evidence that the president or the campaign was connected with the dissemination? Let's assume, and I'd be careful doing this, but let's assume that Michael Cohen is telling the truth. What crime was committed? What crime is it listening to Roger Stone say, I think WikiLeaks is about to do what they tweeted they were going to do and dump a bunch of documents?
Good point. How about this moment when he talked about Adam Schiff and Chairman Cummings? Watch this.
We spoke with Chairman Cummings and the party.
With Chairman Schiff?
Spoke with Chairman Schiff. Spoke to Mr. Schiff about topics that were going to be raised at the upcoming hearing.
Whoa. Not just what time to show up, actually what you're going to talk about?
The gentleman time that expired.
Wow.
What was that all about?
I think Jimmy had it about right. Wow. And it's not wow that Adam and Cummings talked to a witness. The real wow for me, I mean, I expect them to try to do that. The real wow for me was the Washington Post, the New York Times, Politico, The Hill, their reaction when Republicans were accused of talking to witnesses. It was front page information. Elijah and Adam went nuts if there was even an insinuation that a Republican chairman had talked to a witness. I want you to count how many articles you see tomorrow about Schiff and Cummings prepping Cohen before he comes to Congress. You won't find a one.
That's remarkable. You know, one of the other takeaways today was a lot of questions that were raised about this Southern District of New York investigation. And Alan Weisselberg, who was the CFO of the Trump Organization, worked very closely in this circle that Michael Cohen was in. He mentioned him several times. He's a cooperating witness in that investigation. What did you make of the fact that Elijah Cummings, when he walked out, said, you know, that he felt that there was evidence that the president is under a criminal investigation here in New York? For
an FEC violation?
And potential, you know, other financial improprieties is the suggestion of what Michael Cohen said. He couldn't talk about some of it, but the word that was, you know, mentioned was fraud and the like.
Well, the Southern District thinks so little of Michael Cohen that they're going to let him go to the Bureau of Prisons without ever using him as a witness. And Bob Mueller thinks so little of Michael Cohen that they're going to let him go to the Federal Bureau of Prisons without ever using him as a witness. In fact, Mueller did something he never does. He actually spoke. He actually corrected Michael Cohen and his lawyer. So the fact that Congress would allow someone that no real serious investigation considers a witness to come be their star witness shows how far Congress has fallen. And it breaks my heart to say that. I care about the institution. But to call a convicted perjurer as your first witness was stunning to watch.
I want to ask you one thing before I let you go. This is a tweet from Congressman Matt Gaetz yesterday, which he has since taken down. It says, "Hey, Michael Cohen, do your wife and father-in-law know about your girlfriends? Maybe tonight would be a good time for a chat. Wonder if she'll remain faithful when you're in prison. She's about to learn a lot. He took that down, as I said. Was that an error on his part?
It was more than an error. It's indefensible. It's not persuasive. You know, the president has a lot of really provocative allies, like Matt. He could stand to have a few more persuasive allies, people like John Ratcliffe, Elise Stefanik, people who can actually make the case. But threatening a witness, and I'm going to leave the criminality to others, but threatening a witness like that in a tweet, you're not helping the person you're trying to help. You actually look guilty as hell when you do things like that. So I'm glad he took it down, but he never should have put it up.
All right, we're going to speak with him tomorrow night and ask him some questions about that as well. Thank you very much.
Good.
Trey Gowdy, always good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
You bet.